everyone, this is Steve Bishop from ProgrammingMadeEasy.com and of course Gartman Technical Services, a really great company to work for. So today I've got another In My Opinion video for you guys, and again, these videos are for you guys to ask me whatever kind of question that you'd like. So today's question is a technology related question, but again, please feel free to ask me anything you want. It doesn't have to be technology related. And if you have a question, please feel free to drop me that question in the comment section below this video, and I will be happy to answer it for you. So just keep sending me those questions, okay? So today's question actually comes from Scott, and Scott asks, how does one become a better database developer? I have dabbled with spreadsheets, which led me to my current job. Databases are really new to me. I've bought a few books, I've watched Lydia, Udemy and YouTube, and those have been the bulk of my resources. The guy that I work with has a ton of experience, but he can't sit over my shoulder all day long. Any advice or thoughts? So, Scott, first of all, thank you again for the question. I really appreciate it. I'm glad whenever you guys can come to me and ask me these things. I think it's really helpful to the community because I just kind of want to share my knowledge with you guys, and what better way than to answer the questions you guys have. So how does one become a better database developer? Well, how does one get better at anything? It's practice. It's just, doing it. It's doing it repetitively, over and over again, and refining the way that you do it, finding more efficient ways to do the same things over and over again, because you get tired of doing it over and over again. It just takes practice. You've got to have projects to work on. You've got to have projects to build. And just having one database that you're ever going to work on is really probably not the best way to go about it. You should have multiple different projects, try to do multiple different things, and find different ways of doing the same thing. Try to, I think a good example of that would be, instead of writing all of your entities, so all your customers, contacts, blah, 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 instead of just putting them all into tables, try building classes around those same entities. Figure out a way of filling up your class objects with the data that comes from your SQL tables, because then you'll have objects that you can work with in VBA, and sometimes that's a bit more efficient and easier to work with. It's just kind of one of those things. You don't have to do it. It's just a kind of dabbling, figuring out how to use VBA classes a little bit better, by trying to figure out a way to make classes do what you want them to, and behave kind of in a similar way to how tables work. Figuring out how do I get the information to work between two classes? How do I, figure out how to integrate the data between the two classes? It's a very complex way to try to do something, and making it very complicated, trying to sort all this stuff out. But figuring out new ways to do things that you might do over and over and over again, so then you try to go find a better and a more efficient way of doing it, is the essence of learning, right? It's the essence of mastering and wisdom of your craft. So that's what I would say. Is just, you've got to get practice. You've got to do a lot of the same things over and over again, and then try to find better, more efficient ways of doing those repetitive tasks once you've really grasped them. Along with that, I would say you really need to have ideas for applications to build. So don't just, like I said, stick with one project. You don't just want to do one thing and work on that application and that's all you ever do. You've got to grab a lot of different ideas from different people. Sometimes, the best resources are your friends and family around you. Just ask them, hey, what would make your life better? Would you like an application that helps you with your finances? Would you like an application that, that organizes your DVD inventory? Something like that, just what would make their lives happier? What would you like an application to do on your computer? And you'd be amazed at how many different ideas you can get from just asking that question. The first application I ever built, in Access that is, was a football pool, where here at the office, every year during the NFL football season, we do a football pool. Everybody chips in $1, and you make your picks of all of the games for that week, and whoever has the most correct picks of who's going to win gets the pot. So that's kind of a thing. That was something that I could have easily done, and I've done on Excel spreadsheets all the time, but why not make an access database out of it? Why not just, build something that helps me manage all of this out of Access? And then eventually I thought the same thing. It was a great little tool, a great little application for me to build in ASP.NET. So then I had a web version of the same application. So you can use these kind of things, these little tiny applications that are out there that, just waiting for you to ask, just waiting for you to find. So just build them and build as many of these things as you can. Build as many of these tiny little apps and little things that you can so that you get really good at starting from the ground up and moving on. And then what's really also fun is to offer up your help, offer up advice. I would too, when I was really kind of new to Access, but I knew enough, like I felt like I knew enough to maybe be helpful, I started going to Access forums. So accessforums.net. There's a bunch of Access forums out there. And just, sign up, see what kind of questions are being asked, and you'd be amazed at how many of those questions that get asked you actually have the answers to. So don't be afraid to chime in, give your response, give your, lend some help, lend your own assistance to other people such as yourself that are having trouble. And you'd be amazed at some of the connections you can make. You start to get some valuable relationships in the business community or friends and networking that can really kind of start from that. And you get some really nice projects that you can build just by kind of answering some of those forum posts. So, making yourself available, trying to help out, trying to assist, that gives you all of the opportunity to go out and research. And you'd be surprised at also how many times somebody will ask a question you don't know the answer to, and you're like, oh, that is a really good question. I should go research that. I wonder what the answer is. So you go and research it, and now you've learned something new about your craft that you hadn't even thought of learning before. And it's going to make you a better developer in the long run. So that's another really great tool, I think, for becoming a better developer. Now, there are standardized courses you can take. I highly recommend that, if you got the time and you got the money, go through the courses, go through the, I don't know about coding camps. I haven't personally participated in any of those, but I do go to weekly meetups, different software development frameworks, database. There's if you check out Meetup, it's a great little app. I bet you there are probably some groups in your area on Meetup that do database development. It may not be Access development because Access isn't really all that popular, but stuff like SQL Server is everywhere. MySQL is everywhere. PostgreSQL, that's everywhere. You'll find some sort of database group to go join and go listen in on. And even if you don't understand everything they're talking about, it's good to immerse yourself. Just like, trying to learn a foreign language, the best way to learn a foreign language is to go immerse yourself by going to that country of origin and just getting yourself involved, getting yourself immersed into that scenario where even if it's above your head, you're still kind of absorbing it in a way. And then somewhere down the road, something will trigger. Oh yeah, I remember them talking about that in the meeting, and it'll be, it'll start to kind of make things make a bit more sense. So that's another great thing. Try to find these groups of where they meet up and chat about things. That's a really, really good resource. But like I also was talking about, it's classes. If you can find some community college classes to take, that's helpful because you'll at least get the knowledge. You may not get the practical application, but it will help bolster your actual, depth of knowledge. YouTube is great. Lydia is great. Pluralsight is the one that I go to. I love Pluralsight. They've got great courses on there. And I haven't really mentioned this, but I'm actually going to apply to do a Pluralsight course. So stay tuned on that. That's kind of a nice little nugget I think some of you guys might like to know about. Anyway, so that's kind of my advice. If you're looking to get better at things, just find little projects. That's probably the best way to do it, is find little projects to do. And then, like I also said, I think going on forums and helping out as much as you can on those forums, answering questions, discovering questions that you never even realized should be asked, will also give you a great ton of information. And also, do those meetups, do those groups. Find people of like mind that you can talk about these things, ask questions, and discuss these things. You'd be amazed at some of the knowledge that's out there right there in your own local neighborhood, that could really be a valuable resource. And maybe you find a mentor that way, right? Maybe you find somebody in your area that isn't like your coworker who's too busy, but maybe you can start, really asking questions. And, whenever you run into a problem, maybe you can give them a call, or you can do a remote session with them and let them help you out with things. So there's just really a lot of resources by doing those meetups. It's really a great tool. So anyway, that would be my advice, Scott. I hope that kind of answers your question. If I kind of didn't give you some things that you wanted to hear, or if there was a part of your question that I didn't quite answer, please feel free to drop me that follow-up question in the comment section below this video, and I'll be happy to answer it. And to the rest of you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys learned something. If you did, please give me that thumbs up, hit that like button so that I know you guys enjoyed it. And don't forget to favorite my videos, favorite the ones that you like so that you can rewatch them or add them to your create like playlists and stuff, because those playlists really help out. You'd be surprised, playlists actually are really good for channels to help them grow. So if other people bring in your videos and add them to their own personal playlists, it actually helps the channel grow and gives other resources for YouTube to do, meta search keywords and stuff like that. So, give me those thumbs up, give me those likes, give me, try to put the videos in your favorites, and as always, feel free to subscribe. Hopefully these videos have been helpful to you and you want to see more of them. So by subscribing, you can get notified whenever there are new ones. So thanks again for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.